Earlier this year, I read Graham Greene's The Quiet American, about two men loving the same woman in Vietnam in a time when the American involvement in that war was about to get bigger. Alice McDermott's latest novel, called Absolution, plays a few years later, mostly in 1963. Most of the American expat women who are like accessories to their important husbands who work for corporate American industries in Saigon have read The Quiet American, it is said in the book, that we learn from the book's narrator, a 23-year-old woman named Patricia. Newlywed, a couple of months wed with a man who's working for the CIA now. She's narrating the events of that year, not to us, the readers, but to a woman called Greene, who is one of 3 children of Patricia's friend Charlene in Saigon, another expat woman. Charlene is the other protagonist, maybe the main protagonist in McDermott's beautifully crafted novel. She's different from most of the other quite boring housewives. Charlene makes a business by letting a Vietnamese woman named Lee, her name Americanized to Lily because they cannot pronounce Lee, can't they? So Vietnamese dresses on to Barbie dolls and sells these Barbie dolls to the expat community, to the other women who want to have them for their beautiful American children. Everybody does charity work here, every woman. Everybody has one or several servants. After the French have left the south of Vietnam, the Americans have taken over their colonial role, more or less. The American housewives, they are so good. They visit hospitals, they visit orphanages and leper clinics and do nothing but good for the war-torn people of Vietnam, or so they think, while their husbands follow the big interests of big corporations. Patricia has several miscarriages and seems not to be able to give her husband the child that both so desperately want and that every woman wants to give to her husband at the time. Charlene wants to solve that situation by finding a poor Vietnamese kid at one point. Slowly, Patricia reveals, or let's say Alice McDermott reveals, while this story is told to Greene so many decades later. You need to find out for yourself, since McDermott masterfully builds up that tension of us readers wondering why that is. Why is the story told to Greene, to that little child, decades later? McDermott brings the atmosphere of the early 1960s to life. Cocktail parties, charity events, the ignorance towards Vietnamese culture, the superficial knowledge that many Americans involved had, that even Graham Greene already depicted and showed in The Quiet American. The belief that you are a member of a do-good nation, not realizing what kind of bad things that nation might be able to do or what it actually does. Her husband barks at Patricia, never give them money, when she wants to give $1 to crying children out on the streets of Saigon in the beginning of that book. There is no strong Vietnamese character in this novel, and some people have remarked about that on the internet, but remember, Patricia is the narrator. Vietnamese women are through and through described as accessories, as servants, as cooks and housemaids. They are polite, they are neat, and they are kind and beautiful and smiling, but they actually do not exist as characters in the world of these expat women, and not talking about their husbands. Alice McDermott has written a subtle, character-strong novel about American expat women in Vietnam in the early 1960s. Quiet Americans, if you want. They want to do good, just like Graham Greene's character Alden Pyle, the quiet American, who's also working for the CIA a couple of years earlier. I actually want to read more of the backlist of that great American author, Alice McDermott, who was born in 1953 and who has written 9 novels, including Absolution. McDermott actually also won the National Book Award in 1998 for her novel Charming Billy, and that is what I have ordered from the library actually here in Stockholm, Sweden. Thanks very much for watching this review. Read the book. It was published in October last year. It is really, really worth reading. Thank you, and see you soon in another video. Bye.